my first coaching job was in indoor football, and we had high motion of 2 receivers. Okay. And, being a defensive coach, that's already tough, right? Like, I don't think people realize, you're not jamming off the line when they're coming in high motion because you don't get that opportunity. So, then you talk about actually being able to put everybody in motion. Tell me what that's like, because I don't think people in the States necessarily understand what that allows you to do as an offense and how that makes the game kind of faster and puts pressure on the defense.
Well, it puts pressure on the defense because you can line up for example, you can line up in a quads, 41 set, and motion into bunch with an empty set. And so so now all of a sudden the quads become 41 becomes 42, an empty set, and then the motioning across. You can put all the receivers in the backfield or all the slot backs in the backfield and motion from there. And so it really, if you're playing cover one, it's really a really good indicator to tell man or zone, because if it is man, all the DBs will be in the box waiting to see which one they're going to come out. And so it makes the game very interesting, just like our special teams, no fair catch. But this is how crazy the game could be. If someone can invest in the CFL game, like a Madden game online, it will be absolutely nuts to be able to defend all motioning, what you can do formation wise, the movements and everything else. And that's what makes it different, because defensively, you really got to stay in communication mode because you have to track 2 and 3 guys at one time.
That's right. And for so much of the game planning that we do on defense, it's contingent on formation, right? So the second you put all of those guys in motion, from a coaching perspective, it makes it really tough in terms of breaking, right? Because, you can start one way and we're going to make a call based on the formation down and distance. And then you can motion into something else and you'd almost have to double call it. Is that what they typically do? Do they double call?
Well, I think that's what makes the defense so difficult. Like defenses that don't communicate, then they'll have a difficult time being able to handle, because like I said, you can go in motion from everyone from the backfield headed to a 41 set, and then 2 receivers can go back to the boundary, and it turns into a 23 set with 3 receivers to the boundary and 2 to the field. And so if you're not communication, or if you are in zone, you can tell the difference when you're not in zone and when you're in man. And so just the tracking aspect and the ability to communicate defensively, and that's what you want to do offensively. You want the defense to be in communication mode throughout the whole time until the ball snaps.
Yeah,
so if you just line up in a basic, like for example, in the NFL, if you just line up in a basic 22 set with no motioning, there's not a lot of communication that defense have to do there. You're in your formation, and then, they make the call, make the defense, and then, hey, they're waiting for the ball to snap. But when you put in multiple formations, there's multiple calls that have to be made. And like I said, you only want someone to bust a call or someone to be wide open based on, what you're going to do offensively. And I think that's the biggest thing, especially in our game. We really take advantage of the motioning, because defensive wise, the coverages are always been the same over the last probably 20 years. Everyone's still running cover 1, cover 2, and cover 3. That hasn't changed. They may mix a little bit of match coverage, way teams play match differently, but the evolution of football hasn't really changed on the defensive side of the ball.
How do you think, along the same lines there, the CFL game with the motion and of course, that unique element has impacted the NFL and maybe the college game as well?
Oh, it's definitely. You see pistol sets, which when pistol sets started to being shown in the National Football League, it was when RG3 was running the pistol with the running back behind him. Now you start to see it in college, but 6 or 7 years prior to that, the CFL has been doing the pistol because now it's so much easier and it's more difficult to defend and figure out what side he's going to go in shotgun than it is him being on the right side of you. He's going to come across the formation. in the zone read. And so I think with the pistol set, it really balanced out the defense, and they're going to have to be in a reaction mode because they don't know if he's going to the right or to the left based on the pistol set. So, yes, I think the CFL has had a influence of the National Football League, especially now than ever, especially in the passing game, because you're throwing the football more in the National Football League now in the last 5 years than they have in 20 years.